We talking about practice.
This is the hottest sports show that's not a sports show. Let's have a conversation. What up, world? Welcome to the TBP show. I'm your host, the almighty Merz. Shouts to our sponsor, Sauce Cannabis, Sauce Sublime. Make sure you guys check them out. 3 states, Nevada, Massachusetts, and California. We got a legend today, y'all. A UNLV Running Rebel alum. The last point guard to play for Coach Jerry Tarkanian before he stepped down. Before the NCAA pretty much fucked up his whole legend, but he's still a legend in my opinion. Ranks 5th in career assists and 8th in career steals, all time with the Rebels. President and head coach of Westcoast basketball. Father to 4 extremely talented kids. His first son will be UNLV's point guard. Everybody make some noise for Dedan Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. How you been, man?
I've been good.
You good?
Yeah.
I know we talked real brief that you got a lot of things going. But how's the family? Like, how's just family outside of business? How's family going?
Family is good. Everybody's healthy.
That's good, man.
You know, we got some new things on the horizon.
Yeah.
Kids are getting old.
Yes.
We got 2 in middle school now. We got 1 left in high school, and then of course DJ's at UNLV for the first year.
Yeah. I seen a picture of Cayman. And I was like, damn, have I been away for that long? Like, he was doing, like, I don't know, like making a move in the air. And I was like, he looks so much longer now. And just like, he's starting to look like when I first saw DJ.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How's Tyus doing? I know, was he
Tyus
junior this year?
Yeah,
sophomore?
Tyus is a sophomore this year.
Okay.
At Liberty High School. So
Got you.
he's doing good. He's they're gonna be starting the season in the next month or so.
Okay.
He had a really good summer with Dream Vision.
Yeah.
Playing 16U for them this summer, but he's doing good. He's healthy. He got hurt, but he's back healthy again, and
Okay.
they'll be starting the season soon.
That's good, man. I know, like, DJ had he kind of hit the waves in terms of like social media and just getting his rankings up, like around, I think his junior year. It like really exploded.
Yeah.
But the word, you know, and everybody that's seen your kids play, that Tyus is like another piece of magic, like DJ. But if not, could be better than what DJ was at his age. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, he has a chance. He has a chance to be really good if he keeps working. You know, the sky's the limit. You know, he's smart. He's athletic.
Okay.
He has really good quick twitch. He can shoot it. Very high basketball IQ. So he's right there. He's right there. We're looking for him to have a big sophomore year.
Yeah.
And a bigger summer. So he has a chance to be pretty good.
That's good, man. Where's Cayman playing at?
Cayman is at Tarkanian Middle School.
Okay.
This year. He and my daughter Brooke, they're twins. And he's also playing for me. He's playing with our 8th grade team. Our West Coast Rebel 8th grade team. Actually, they're playing the tournament this weekend.
All right.
Here locally. But he's getting there too.
Yeah.
It's like it's funny because our house goes through it's kind of like seasons. Every like 3 years, it seems like we come into a different season with DJ going off to college and the twins going into middle school.
Yeah.
We're kind of in a different season right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's funny because Cayman going into middle school this summer, he wanted contacts, so he got rid of the goggles. He wanted his haircut, so he got his haircut. So when people see him now, they're like, is that Cayman? Yeah, that's Cayman. He's gotten bigger.
Yeah.
He's gotten stronger. He's gotten faster. Like you said, he's at this age, I think he's longer than both boys. We're thinking that he's going to be bigger than DJ and Tyus.
Yeah.
So, you know, our whole household is kind of changing.
Right. I mean, it's usually like that anyway, right?
Yeah.
With any family household, you know, as your kids grow, things change.
Yeah.
You enter as a parent, you enter into this new zone of parenting.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, but at least you have like some experience with DJ at least.
Exactly. But it's really different when one leaves.
Okay.
Because DJ leaving was a big deal for our family.
Yeah.
We're a very tight knit, you know, family. So with him leaving, it was kind of weird the first 2-3 weeks. You know, you kind of go in his room and you're like, he's not
right.
here. But after about 2 or 3 weeks, we started to kind of get used to it. I think he got used to being away from home as well.
Yeah.
But, we're very proud of him.
Yeah.
We're happy for him and his personal growth as a young person.
Right.
And taking this next step in his life. So
I know he's at home, like playing at UNLV. But he's not at home. So he's on campus with the rest of the players.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. Like, does he drive to practice?
No, he rides a scooter to practice because he lives 2 minutes from campus.
Okay.
Or 30 seconds from campus. So
got you.
He's on campus. He's happy about being away from home.
Yeah.
And it took Tina and I a minute to get used to him not being there, but we're good now.
Right. So I would assume he was like the captain when it came to his siblings. And is Tyus kind of taking the reign up a little more?
Tyus is kind of taking over. Kamen is taking over a little bit, and of course Brooke is always
Brooke.
Yeah.
Is she hooping?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Yes, she is. She's we wanted to kind of wait and kind of see, we just really stuck to training with her.
Right.
And because I'm just a firm believer with the girls, when you start them too early, some get injured, knees, and you know how it is with girls. It's just a little different. So we started her off training a lot more than playing, and now she's starting to play a little bit more. She's starting to become a better athlete.
Right.
She's a really good shooter. She's very physical, and I think at the end she'll be pretty good. She'll be able to get a scholarship one day if she keeps at it.
No, for sure. I feel the same way. Just when I first met all you guys, but when I first seen Brooke, and just I know you guys weren't really having her play games, but just her being around the boys and like her competitive nature, just like I remember one time she just like asked me to play one-on-one. She was really young. I was like, what? And she's like, yeah. She started dribbling. I was like, all right, yeah.
That sounds like her.
Yeah, so that's good though. Because I know her personality is vibrant. You know, she's out there.
100%.
Yeah, she's almost like, I know Kamen is like real quiet. And they're twins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like night and day. That's good though, man. West Coast. How's West Coast doing?
We're thriving. We're getting bigger. We're just trying to grow the program. Right. We've had a lot of kids come through our program.
Yes.
A lot of Division I guys, some pros, a lot of different sports, football, basketball.
Right.
Some baseball players. It's funny because we just ran into Dalton Kincaid's parents last night.
Really?
So Dalton Kincaid played for us from like, I don't know, maybe 5th or 6th grade to about 8th or 9th grade.
Really?
Yeah, and it was really good to see his parents because they're really, really good people.
Yeah.
And, when I was talking to Mom last night, we were just talking about how we never talked about, like, because he was around when Troy Brown was around.
Okay.
And, we never talked about those guys being pros. All we talked about was development, being good athletes, being good people, and just developing to good kids and good people. And we never talked about any of those kids going pro.
Yeah.
I personally think it's kind of taboo to talk about kids when they're so young about this kid's a pro or that. Right. I don't like doing that. And to see how successful that kid is. He was always a hard worker. And, he wasn't the greatest basketball player, but he was just a really good athlete and he was a hard worker and his parents were just great people.
Yeah.
And you like to see that kind of stuff. And when you see him on TV playing in the NFL, and he's exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And he's about to get a chance now for sure.
Exactly.
With
and then his road was just like, I want to say he went to junior college and then I don't know if he walked on or what he did, but I know he went to junior college and then, he played great at University of Utah.
Yeah. And
to get drafted and have a career the way he had in college and then now he's playing for the Buffalo Bills. It's just, it's just crazy.
That I didn't know. Is he a Vegas kid or he?
Yeah, he's a Vegas kid. Yeah. Went to Coronado, I think he went to Bob Miller or Del Webb. Ended up being at Faith Lutheran for a couple years, and then going to junior college. I want to say he went to junior college, maybe in San Diego, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but and then doing a couple years at Utah and then get drafted, and just to see him out there, young Dalton.
That's crazy. Saying you coached an NFL player.
Yeah, it is.
Is that the one of your only players that play in the NFL? Or do you got any other players?
That I can think of, yes.
Okay.
That I can think of, yes. But, we have a few pro basketball players either overseas or in the NBA.
Right.
We have a ton of kids that play Division I basketball.
Yeah, for sure.
And football. So, it's just it's just really good to be able to help these kids.
For as long as I've known you, you've really been helping kids.
Yeah.
Not even just learn the game of basketball or be an athlete in general, but just be young men.
Yep.
And your kids in general. Like when I was coaching at Schofield, and pretty much DJ in his whole school from middle school to high school, he's just been around.
Yep.
He's such he's a good man. Like I just knew even when he was a kid that he would be something great, even further than just an athlete. Like he's a great guy. And one of the things that I really noticed was when he was in middle school, and I got to give the parents credit for this, but he didn't hang around the same kids that you would see athletes hang around. Like he was with, for lack of a better word, he was with like misfits. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I just go to like walk around campus and see him during lunch. I'm like, he's not even hanging with the basketball team at all. Yeah. So like, but usually it's the misfits, right? That become great people, later on. So, but I'm sure he never had a problem fitting in. DJ's definitely a good kid, talented. We're gonna get into him a lot, but I want to talk more about you, the father, former basketball player. In the early 90s, why UNLV? Like, what was the lens like in college basketball in the early 90s? Why'd you choose UNLV?
Well, number one, it was not very far away from home,
right?
But it was close enough to home.
Okay, you're from LA, right?
Being from Southern California, you could take an hour flight, or you could take a 4-hour drive. So it wasn't very far from my parents and my family.
Okay,
number one, and then at the time they were the number one team in college basketball.
Very true. Yeah,
and to come play for a couple legendary coaches like Jerry Tarkanian and Tim Gergeridge was, very attractive to me.
Yeah.
So those were probably the two main things. I had a great relationship with Tim Gergeridge.
Mm-hmm.
He would come down every weekend and spend time with me, take me to go work out.
Right.
And, he really worked hard recruiting me. And we built a great relationship. But, once I took my visit and met all the guys, Henderson, Hunt, Greg Anthony, Larry Johnson, all those dudes.
Yeah.
It was kind of a no-brainer. They played the way I wanted to play. And Coach Gerg really believed in me, and I loved the style of play. And they were the best team in the country at the time.
Yeah.
So it was kind of an easy decision. There was no number 2, number 3, number 4. I wanted to come play for the Running Rebels.
Yeah, so as soon as they came knocking at your door, it was like, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Did you have other schools? I'm assuming you had other schools recruiting you.
Yeah. Ton of schools, Arizona, UCLA, Seton Hall. I think pretty much everybody in the Pac-10. It was called the Pac-10 at the time.
Yeah.
So everybody in the Pac-10, there was a lot of schools from back east recruiting me as well. So, but again, UNLV was the number one team in the country, so it was a no-brainer. Yeah.
At the time, I know Tark's name was kind of getting dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
Like that didn't like sway your decision at all, thinking like maybe he might not be there for that long?
They weren't even talking about that at the time.
Oh, it wasn't at the time?
No, not at the time. They were not talking about that. They were talking about maybe probation or something like that.
Yeah.
And when they were talking about it, I had a chance to back out and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's where I wanted to be. I had developed such a great relationship with Tim Gergeridge that, it was a no-brainer. I knew I could learn so much from him.
Right.
And I did. And we all did.
Right.
So For me, it was easy.
Yeah.
It was easy.
What was it like playing for Coach Tark? Was there a big transition from high school to college ball, or did not just Coach Tark, but Coach G, were they able to get you acclimated to college ball?
Well, it's always tough when you come to a school that have a tradition of having really good point guards, like to have to, come in on the back end of a Greg Anthony,
right,
of a Mark Wade. Those dudes were great point guards.
100%, yeah.
You're talking about Mark Wade, who led the country in assists, I think, a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Anthony averaged over 9 assists, won the national championship.
Yeah.
And to come in and try and fill those shoes was, and I never looked at it that way, but
right.
It was just one of those things where you want to play well.
Right.
You want to play well. And Coach Tark was very demanding as a coach on his point guards. He didn't allow you to turn it over. Mm-hmm. You had to be the heartbeat of the team. And Coach Gerg was very hard on me as well.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot and benefited from their hard coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great experience though. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was a great experience though. But I had fun doing it, playing for those guys. So I played for Coach Tark for 1 year, and then of course I played for Coach Rollie, Massimino, and Jay Wright for 2 years as well. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself in terms of as a coach now, like any of your coaching habits, do you find that you took from Coach Tark?
I don't know about habits, but maybe kind of style of play.
Yeah.
It's really important for me for us to get up and down and run, push the ball. Even on dead ball situations, we're trying to get the ball up the court to take advantage of any mistakes that the offense, or the defense may make.
Right.
So from that standpoint, really pushing the ball and playing pressure defense.
Right.
Because that's all we played with Coach Tark was man to man. We played some zone when I was there as well, but the foundation was pressure man to man defense.
Okay, got you. Because I know you guys ran the Amoeba defense.
Yeah.
Were you running?
We didn't play much Amoeba.
Okay.
When I was there, we played 1-2-2.
Okay.
And that was a defense that Coach Tark played when he was at Long Beach State. That was really, really successful there.
Okay.
Because we were so big, and we had Elmore Spencer, who was 7 feet, Melvin Love, who was about 6'10", Bobby Joyce, Everett Gray, 6'7", 6'8". So we had some big guys, and so we played that 1-2-2 and really shut some guys down. J.R. Ryder on the wing as well. So we didn't play. We played some Amoeba, but more 1-2-2 and man to man than anything.
Right. The reason I asked that's because was Keith Starr on your coaching roster?
Yeah, he was one of the assistants as well.
Okay, because he was when I was playing high school ball, he was our assistant coach. Yeah, and they taught us the Amoeba defense.
He loves Amoeba.
Yeah,
he
loves that shit, man. Cause he taught us, and I mean, I would teach the kid when I was coach. I taught a little bit of it. It's tough. It's tough to teach.
I don't even know
the
Amoeba,
but
I don't even know. I don't remember it.
Yeah,
people ask me about it. I'm like, I don't remember it.
Yeah, I know that. That's if there's any defense that I know how to teach, it's the Amoeba defense. Yeah. But
all I can remember is Stacy being on the top of it, watching it.
Yeah,
Stacy was on the top of the Amoeba, and I know whenever you got somebody like Ice on the top of the Amoeba, it's gonna be a tough defense.
Somebody long, somebody could play defense.
Yes. And then finish on the break once you do
get the steal.
Get the steal or you get a stop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So.
Yeah, because I think if I'm not mistaken, that was like the defense. Obviously. You guys were, especially in that time, I feel like a lot of college teams were more zone defense, and you guys not playing a lot of zone defense. You guys were running up and down.
Yeah,
was probably a big reason to your guys' success.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool, man. For it to just see the coaching tree, the teachings come down to even a player like me. Years down the line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Your team was banned from the tournament, and it's something you guys didn't even have anything to do with it. That must have sucked because I know you guys were playing your hearts out.
I was probably 5 years old
when all that shit was going down, right?
Yeah, I was. And listen, I don't. What Coach Tark did, I don't blame him for doing it.
Yeah,
and so he kind of took a deal. He told them, all right, if you let these guys go to the tournament, it was the year after they won the national championship.
Right.
If you let these guys go to the tournament the next year and defend their title, we'll take probation the following year.
Right.
Which was my sophomore year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't blame him for doing that.
Yeah, you got to do it. I mean,
No, you got to defend your title.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I don't blame him, but my sophomore year, we were. I remember because the rodeo comes here every year, and so when the rodeo comes, we have to go on a road trip.
Right.
So I remember we went to Missouri, played Missouri with Anthony Peeler,
Yeah.
and the kid Booker's dad from the Phoenix Suns. He was the point guard on that team. We lost to them. We went from there to Rutgers. We lost to Rutgers. We started off the season 1-2.
Okay.
And we came back home and we won 26 straight.
Yeah,
I think
we never lost after that.
Yeah,
right?
we didn't lose again. We ended up 27-2.
Right.
And we won 18-0 in conference. We ended up number 5 in the country. And we were most definitely one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah.
I think we had a chance to win the national championship.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
yeah.
100%. I thought we had a chance to win that. We had a lot of talent.
Right.
We were pretty deep. We were 2 people at each position. So we were pretty deep, but we were on probation.
Yeah. I was looking at the roster, and there's like a lot of players on there that are like top 25 UNLV players of all time.
Yep.
Obviously, Elmore Spence, J.R. Ryder. What's it like playing with J.R.?
It was good. JR was super talented.
Yeah.
He was one of the most. It's funny because Coach Massimino, when he coached him, he would say that he had the talent along the same lines as a Michael Jordan. Like when you talk about athletic ability,
Right.
being able to shoot the ball, being able to post up, being able to score on all 3 levels. JR was special. And he was a dog.
Yeah.
He was a dog. I used to just call him hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could throw him any kind of pass and he would go get it. And we
Yeah.
kind of had that, that, all right, if I'm going to take a chance throwing it to you, he would go get it. You know what I mean? But he was a hell of a player, man.
Yeah.
He led he was second in the country in scoring at 29 a game, and I was second in the country in assists at the time when we were at UNLV. So we had a really good connection.
Yeah, and arguably, man, a lot of people would say he's one of the best college players of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and to play alongside someone like that, that's got to be like a really cool feeling. And I know he could jump out the gym, so I'm pretty sure you are just throwing.
Just throw it up there.
Yeah.
Just throw it up there. He was gonna go get it. I mean, with the athletic ability and then just being as tenacious and hungry as he was. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Put it anywhere up there, he's gonna go get it.
Man, that's got to be fun, man. It's got to be fun.
It is. It was really fun, man.
You kind of just do your thing out there.
Yeah, it was fun getting up and down with that group. We had a really good group, man. Really good group.
Yeah, it sucks that you guys couldn't compete for the tournament, but it's just one of those things in sports history, right? Like those matchups we'll never get to see.
Yep.
Right? It's kind of like boxing. There's a lot of fighters that you wish you would get to see fight each other, but it'll never happen, especially now. Kind of like Tyson and Ali. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
After college, NBA draft, prospect at all?
So
what was it like for you?
What I should have done, and it's funny because I remember Coach Mass coming to me my junior year, at the end of my junior year, and calling me in his office and saying, there's a rumor going around that you're going to go hardship. And that was kind of people didn't do that back then.
Right. And what's hardship for?
To leave a year early or to leave early.
Right.
And that was, because I had a really good year. I think I was third team, or I was honorable mention All-American.
Okay.
And, when you do something like that, you're opening some eyes up.
Yeah, for sure.
To average as many assists as I averaged and to have the low amount of turnovers that I had each game, it really did open some eyes up.
Yeah.
And looking back on it, I probably should have left after my junior year or put my name in the draft after my junior year. I probably would have had a better chance.
Yeah.
My senior year, I was at the top of everybody's scouting report. And when that happens, it's all eyes on you.
Yeah.
And we had lost Everett Gray, who was a senior when I was a junior, Dexter Boney, who was a senior, J.R. Ryder. So we lost our top 3 leading scorers.
Right.
And I had a tough senior year, a really tough senior year. Tried out for the Clippers, tried out for the Supersonics. Coach Gerg was up with the Supersonics at the time, so they brought me in.
Yeah.
That was around the time Gary Payton and all those guys were there, Sean Kemp and those guys.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to make either one of those teams, and that was my NBA.
Yeah.
my NBA.
It just shows how tough it is, though, to
it's really
make
tough.
it to the league.
And then the other thing is there was a lot of guards still hanging on. And Isaiah Thomas is a big name, but he was kind of at the end. I forget who else was, but there was a lot of guards that were kind of at the end. And this is the thing about making the NBA. You have to, and there's 2 or 3 things that you really have to have. You have to have luck. You have to know somebody. You have to be at the right place at the right time.
Right.
All of that stuff. There's especially now.
Yeah.
There's so many people playing basketball, not only here in the United States, but all over the world.
Internationally,
now.
100%.
Yeah, and it was nothing like that back then.
Right.
As far as how many people we draft and we bring from overseas.
Yeah.
But it was a good run at UNLV, and I have no regrets. About how my career was. I just wished we most definitely could have defended our national we could have played in the tournament.
Yeah.
I think that would have opened a lot of eyes and gave some guys some real opportunities, because I want to say that year we didn't play on TV, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think we did. I can't remember if it was that year that we didn't have any TV games.
Your sophomore season, right?
Yeah,
so
we didn't have
92.
Yeah. So I remember we played Shaquille O'Neal and those guys and beat them, and it was supposed to be an ESPN game.
Right, but they
didn't show it.
Did that have to do with the whole Tark thing?
Yeah.
They wouldn't even show it.
No, they wouldn't show our games.
That would have been a hell of a game.
Man. I mean, we had such a great run that year, and it's just a shame that nobody got to really see any of those games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because most of the times, if a lot of these, sometimes I go back and watch old college games just to see what it was like. But it'd be crazy to see, Elmore Spence and Shaq go at it.
It's funny.
Yeah.
All that week, I would be telling Elmore, "Hey man, Shaq called me looking for you."
All week before the game?
Yeah. Shaq, Shaq gonna dunk on you.
Yeah.
And Elmore had a hell of a game. He probably had 20 and maybe 12, 15 rebounds, something like that.
That's not bad.
And I think he got drafted in the top 20, probably off of that game. He had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
But probably off of that game alone.
Right.
But he had a really good game against Shaq. And we ended up beating those guys by 30 points. Yeah,
damn.
Yeah, blew those dudes out. But no one got to see any of it. I want to say that game is on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, that game's on YouTube.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that game in particular for sure is on YouTube.
I'm gonna have to go look that up.
Yeah. It's I'm sure it's grainy though.
Oh yeah. A lot of these are, and they're in a box. So you kind of use your imagination.
But yeah, man, they didn't televise any of those games, which sucks.
Yeah, that's messed up, man. That's messed up. So after not being drafted, you go right into coaching. How'd you?
No. So, went to Japan for a little bit.
Okay.
And had a short stint over there. Then came back, went back to school for a little bit. Worked, started my own business.
Okay.
Met my beautiful wife,
who
I've been married to for 20 years today.
Yes, my bad, y'all. I apologize.
No, it's all good.
It's all happy anniversary to y'all.
It's all good. But one day, I wanted to get into coaching. I didn't know at what level.
Right.
But the man upstairs has a calling for us,
and
my calling was to help kids. And coach little kids. So.
Did you have kids? Did you already have DJ at the time, or no kids yet?
No. So I had my oldest son Keenan. He was playing at Tarkanian Basketball Academy.
Okay.
And I was helping coach that team with George Tarkanian.
Got you.
And He stopped playing, and we had DJ.
Yeah.
And DJ was, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 when he started playing.
Yeah.
And he played for a coach at Tark that he didn't have a great experience with.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of how West Coast basketball started. Or excuse me, it was called the Las Vegas Rebels at the time.
Got you.
And, I felt like I wanted him to learn the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew Troy Brown Sr., and Troy was playing I think Troy was maybe in 2nd or 3rd grade, and they were, asking around, because we had a relationship, asking around who should they play for, what team.
Right.
And they started playing for a guy named Joe Lewis, who kind of started the Las Vegas Rebels.
Right.
And I think he played for Joe for a couple years. And then I came on the scene. I started doing some training. And Troy Brown Jr. ended up coming to play for us. Do you remember Darian Akahito that went to Liberty? He was a point guard, and he was a safety and a receiver on the football team.
Nah, I don't remember the name.
Monster little point guard. There was another kid named Luke Bradford.
Okay.
Another kid named Jalen Fox.
Okay.
And another kid named Tyga Miano.
Yeah, I don't know none of these names.
Those are the kids that started the whole thing for me.
Okay.
It was that core group that started Las Vegas Rebels / West Coast Rebels, West Coast basketball. That was it. That's where we started at.
Yeah.
We started the program with those 5-6 kids, and from there it's grown to what it's grown to.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, you guys can yield teams at any age, range, and if not one, multiple.
Yeah.
So that's gotta be crazy. What year was late 90s?
No, I want to say around 05, 04.
Okay, 04? So early 2000s?
Yeah. Like 04, I kind of start, maybe like 03, 04, I started training.
Yeah.
And I think that team probably started around 05, something like that.
Okay. That's the year I graduated.
Okay. And we've been rolling since then. We would take teams to nationals. We were one of the only teams on the whole West Coast going to nationals.
Yeah.
I remember the first year we went, I think we ended up like 31 or something like that. The second year we went, we ended up 9. The third year we went, we ended up losing in the national championship game. It was 2 West Coast teams in the final.
Wow.
And, a team from California called Cali Style.
Right.
And then our program. And from there, we grew the program into several teams. But at the time, we only had maybe, I want to say 2 teams at the time.
Right.
Yeah, but we've grown it from there.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I might be biased saying this just because, I've been in the gym with y'all and I've seen how you guys run the program. But it's definitely like if I was a parent, it'd be a team that I would send my kids to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like I said, the kids, they're just good people. You know what I mean? They grow up to be good men.
Well, that's important to us.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's important to us. We've always said and kind of used the motto, it's more than basketball.
Yeah.
That's very important to us, having good people around, having good parents, because your program is only as good as your parents. And if you have bad parents, you're going to have a rocky program.
Right.
So we don't really allow, any knuckleheads in our program. If you are, we're not gonna deal with it.
Yeah, because they're very respectful.
You have to
most
be.
of the kids I've met.
Yeah, you have to be. I mean, and that goes for our parents, our coaches, the kids in our program. It was never supposed to be as big as it is.
Right.
But when you get to a point where you just can't say no because everybody loves what you're doing.
Yeah.
But again, it's more than basketball for us, and we stand on that.
Yeah.
And it's always been important.
Yeah.
It has always been very, very important.
Yeah. I guess if you focus on those things, everything else kind of just
falls into place.
It. Yeah.
Yep.
It's just naturally how it is. You know what I mean?
You have to have a code.
Yeah.
And how you live your life.
Exactly.
And if you don't have that, then you don't have anything. And that's kind of what we teach in our household.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's true, man. You know, a lot of people, you know, if they don't have that type of discipline growing up, they could be the greatest athlete. But we've seen so many great athletes fall through just a bunch of different things that distracted them from what they're actually there for.
Yep.
You know, so that's good because I've seen a lot of programs or been around guys who coach programs that I know they don't live like that. You know what I mean? So it's like there's no way they're teaching the kids the same values.
Yeah, you have to.
You know
have
what I'm
that,
saying?
Man. You have to. That's important.
Yeah. Who's some of the top recruits this year for West Coast?
Well, right now we're on the high school side. We're down on the high school side.
Okay.
We got some really good young guys coming up. Javion, what is Javion's Wall? Javion Wall, who's a freshman at Sierra Vista.
Okay.
I think he has a chance to be really, really good. We have Amari Oba, who was at Liberty last year, but now he's at Red Rock. He's a 6'5", 6'6", super bouncy, super athletic. He's now at Red Rock Academy. He has a chance to be really good. Of course, Tyus has a chance to be, he has a chance to be really good. Tayshawn Prince is another kid who's in our program that we also think he has a chance to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Our program is kind of in a transition. Mm-hmm. We have some decent 24s that are seniors this year that has a chance to play at the next level. Caden Castellero, I think
Caden solid.
Caden has a chance to play at the next level. Maybe low Division I, maybe a Division II kid.
Right.
I think Jace has a chance to play. Jace Aquininock has a chance to play at the next level.
Okay.
Andre Porter will be a football kid. He signed a letter of intent to play at UNLV, play football at UNLV. Another football kid in our that came through our program.
Right.
So we have some guys, but again, we're kind of in a transition where there's a lot of guys going out, and we have some pretty good young talent coming through our program as well.
Right.
But we're excited about our young guys.
Yeah.
We're excited to have some of these guys moving on, and then kids like Cayman, kids like Angelo Imperial, who's a freshman at Spring Valley. I think he has a chance to be pretty good. So we got some really good young guys coming through our program too.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys won't have any problem helping them get to the next level.
Yeah.
So that's always good. With the climate of youth sports, college basketball, NIL deals, transfer portal, social media in general, what's your message to recruits? Like, what's your main message to recruits?
Be careful what you say on social media.
Yeah, true.
That's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because it could make or break you.
Right.
You say the wrong thing, you do the wrong thing on social media.
Right.
And those coaches will get off you like you have the plague, man.
Yeah.
They just, there's so many kids playing now that they can just mark you off their list.
Right.
Very easily. So, if you're at the end, like 10th, 11th, 12th grade, 10th, 11th grade, like just delete Twitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just delete Twitter. And especially during the season, stay off TikTok and all that stuff during the year when you're playing. And again, just make sure, you're following the right people.
Yeah.
And everything is positive on your social media, because it could take you down.
Yeah, because image is everything nowadays.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
It's always been a thing, but it's like magnified now.
I couldn't imagine growing up like this.
Yeah, me either.
I couldn't imagine growing up like this. It's so much pressure for some of these kids nowadays to live up to someone else's expectations of what they think you're supposed to be. You got filters, and you can make it look like you made 40 jump shots in a row. I mean, it's just not reality.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's scammers everywhere. I'm pretty sure it's not hard to
Absolutely.
scam somebody into knowing it,
Absolutely.
thinking that you're like a top player.
Absolutely. I mean, you have, it's a tough time to be a kid.
Yeah.
It really is, because they just have instant access to everything that goes on. So it kind of makes you a little numb to stuff that happens in the world.
Right.
Because, when I was younger, some of that stuff you wouldn't see or you wouldn't hear about for days upon days upon days. But right now, everything is right at the tip of your fingers.
Yeah.
And that's probably my biggest thing. Just be careful how you get down on social media.
Yeah. It's good advice because, I follow DJ, and ever since he's been on social media, from what I remember, it's always been a level of professionalism, even as a kid. Like, the things he retweets, the things he posts, even how he talks. I don't know if it's y'all doing it to be real, but it's
a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, but he's been so versed in that stuff,
right,
that he doesn't really even. So I think sometimes we just have to tell him sometimes, like, dude, people want to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
People want to know how you're working out. They want to know what you're thinking, because a lot of people care about you as a player and as a person. Maybe you should go in there a little bit more. But he's been well versed, and he knows he's representing our family as well as himself.
Right.
And, especially my name with the same
For real.
name.
Yeah, you got the same
so
name.
he gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it. He's gotten it for a long time. So he's always been pretty good about, not doing anything silly on there.
Oh, yeah. Solid, man. That's some good advice, man, because there's a lot of kids. I've been around it, and it's just, like you said, it's real tough for them because it's magnified. Everything they post, even if they're just liking something, everyone can see what you like.
Exactly.
So you do got to be kind of careful with that type of stuff, man.
Yeah, you can lose a scholarship like
exactly, that. Exactly, yeah. You really can. I want to get to this next segment real quick. It's called Choose One or Shoot One.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. I give you two names, and then you could choose and decide who you like the best. There's really no context as to why who is the best or who's better. It's really just to see where you lean at. Mm-hmm. Typically, if you can't decide on a name, we normally would take a drink. But I'm trying not to drink right now. I just signed up for a marathon. Okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to get in shape. And
I can drink. I got water.
Yeah, we got water, so we're good. So if you can't figure it out, we'll just toast to some water. All right, but we'll start off with some NBA action here. The first question I ask everybody: Allen Iverson or Steph Curry?
I say Allen Iverson.
Great answer.
Yeah, I say Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Different time.
Mm-hmm.
Different type of game.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, Steph Curry's a great player, but Allen Iverson was something just a little different. You being probably 5'11". I think they list him as 6'1".
Yeah, they had him up there.
Yeah, probably 5'11". Dual sport athlete, tough as nails.
Yeah.
Could shoot it, could dribble it, could pass it. Mm-hmm. And playing in one of the toughest eras there was to play in.
Right.
I'd have to say Allen Iverson.
Yeah, 100%. He's my favorite player, so I love when people lean that side. But Steph Curry is definitely a great player as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
As a coach, though, because I know Steph kind of came into the game. I actually saw a stat. I think he only shot like 2 or 3 3-pointers his rookie season. Mm-hmm. That was average, but now he's probably putting up like 10 plus. Mm-hmm. And then his range in shooting the basketball. As a coach, is it, with kids nowadays thinking that 3-point is the game of basketball, right? If you can shoot the ball well, you're like a great player. Does that bother you as a coach a little bit to where kids are just coming down the court and shooting the ball?
Well, Steph Curry ruined the game. It's funny. We were just at a camp that came and did, I want to say 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time where the kids went up and down about 8 times.
Okay.
And out of the 8, I want to say there may have been 6 threes shot. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about on the break, and kids are hitting the backboard.
Yeah.
You know, they're shooting air balls. I mean, I just think when you're that young,
Yeah.
the shot is so far, and you know, it screws up your shooting mechanics where you're loading up, shooting it from your down here, to where I mean it again. I mean, Steph Curry kind of screwed it up a little bit,
Right.
I wish it'd get back to more of a traditional game, but it'll never go back to that.
I don't think so.
You know, they're talking about changing the rules, maybe taking away. I want to say they were talking about taking away the 3-point shot in the corners.
I heard that too.
Because it was too close.
Yeah.
But the traditional big man is dead now.
Yeah.
You know, that position is dead. And like, take a guy like, what's the kid's name from Gonzaga that didn't get drafted? That was there forever.
What's his name? The white kid with the headband.
White kid,
You're
yeah.
talking about hold on, I can't think of his name. He was one of my favorite Gonzaga players.
You just take that kid, for instance.
Yeah. Drew Timmy. Yeah.
Like, when I look at Timmy, because he can't shoot the three, he can't play in the NBA.
Right.
And Drew Timmy is a monster.
No, he was
to me.
a beast, man. Traditional post player, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's dead. You know what I mean? It's dead. You almost don't want to teach post play anymore,
Right.
Because everything is either a layup or a 3-pointer.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't even want mid-range shots anymore.
Right.
So I don't know. I think Steph Curry changed the game, but he also kind of screwed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, he's a hell of a player. He's
Yeah.
a Hall of Famer. But I'd much rather go with Allen
With
Iverson.
AI. Yeah.
100%.
Me too, for sure.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan?
That's a tough one, but I'm a Mike fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Mike fan. Without Mike, there is no Kobe. You know, did Kobe end up being more skilled than Mike at the end?
Right.
Yeah, but Mike was just different.
Killer instinct, man.
He was just different, man. He was he just had such a will to win, and you know, you couple that with the athleticism,
Right.
and like, say for instance, you drop Mike into this era of basketball, he averages 40 a game.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know, probably more than 40 a game.
Right.
If you're talking about his first maybe 5 years in the league. I remember one year he averaged 37. And nowadays you can't touch people.
That's what I'm saying. He'll get to the line easy.
Yeah, you can't touch him. You know what I mean? They've changed the game so people can score more. They don't want to see those 85, 80 games, 90-point games. They want to see 120, 130 scored.
Yeah.
So, I mean, without even taking a breath, you know, Kobe's a great player. I love Kobe Bryant. I'm a Laker fan.
Yeah.
But Michael Jordan was just different, man.
Yeah.
You know,
100%. I
back in the
believe the
day,
same.
yeah, I was a Detroit Piston fan. And I used to hate the way he used to go at my dudes. I was a big Isaiah Thomas fan, and he used to go at my dudes. But Michael Jordan was, he was something, man.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Both ends, you know, skill, could score at all three levels. Could even at one point in time when they put him at point guard, he was averaging 10 assists, 11 assists a game for a stint. So, no, Michael Jordan to me is the best player ever.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm the same way. I was a big Jordan fan growing up as a kid, man, and still to this day.
Yeah,
you know, to me, I feel like you said, it wouldn't be a Kobe without Jordan because their game is very similar.
Yes,
but obviously, you know, Kobe's mimicked that from a player like Jordan, especially, you know, in the '90s, he pretty much took over. You know, but yeah, Jordan, if you dropped him in this era, he's getting to the line every single possession.
Yeah, you can't touch him.
Yeah.
You can't touch these dudes.
A three.
Yeah, you can't touch these dudes now.
Yeah.
You even breathe on them. I was watching the game tonight, and I was going, man, these dudes flop and fall so much, and the referees just, you know, they go for all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and with Mike, you know, you can't touch that dude with a 40-inch vertical and cat quick, 6'6". super bouncy, super athletic,
agile, do anything.
Yeah, and then to top it off, you have the killer instinct. No, he's to me, it's not close.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. GP, Gary Payton or Jason Kidd?
That's a tough one. I'd have to say J Kidd.
Okay.
I really like Gary Payton.
Yeah.
He was around the time he was in school around the time I was in high school.
Okay.
So I used to watch a lot of Gary Payton. Love the way he competes on defense.
Yes, me too. Me too.
I didn't like all of the shit talking.
Right. But, I like that though.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I just wasn't a big fan of it. There's talking, but then at times there's way too much.
Yeah, it's disrespectful at some point.
It can get disrespectful, but just the constant.
Yeah.
But Gary Payton was a great player, but I was a pass first point guard. Mm-hmm. So to see J Kidd do some of the stuff he did, passing the basketball and pushing the basketball to the court was special.
Yeah, there's a lot of plays that he would make, and I would have just never thought, or as a kid, it's like amazing. Like,
it is.
How you make that pass?
It is. Like there's a clip of him. I know you've seen it. There's a clip of him throwing a lob from out of bounds.
Yeah.
To somebody to win the game.
Yes.
Over a 7-footer.
Yeah.
And it's like, how did he do that?
Yeah. Especially in the NBA.
Exactly. Like J Kidd was. Players. I can remember. So I want to say I think I may have been a junior when J Kidd was a freshman, and we were both of us was from California.
Yeah.
And just hearing about, there's a 6'3" point guard up north in the Bay Area that's going to be a pro. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
6'3", 6'4" point guard. Like he's in 9th grade and they're talking about this dude's going to be a pro.
Wow, he was that tall in 9th grade?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was like 6'3", 6'4". And once I finally saw him, I'm like, yeah, that dude,
solid.
He's special. Yeah. He's special.
He definitely is. LeBron and Magic.
Oh, man. That's another tough one. Big Magic fan growing up. I learned how to play point guard for Magic. Stand up late at night, watching Channel 9, watching the Laker games. I learned how to be a leader watching Magic Johnson play basketball. I can remember when the Lakers would play, like I lived 3 blocks from the Forum when the Lakers were in their heyday in the 80s.
Right.
And when the Lakers would play, I would go to the elementary school across the street from the Forum and go play dunk ball while the Lakers would be playing. So nice. With that being said, I have to go with Magic Johnson.
Got you. It's sad because a lot of kids these days don't really understand like
transform the game. Yeah. I remember I think we were at Magic's camp.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine, I don't know who Josh works for now. Josh Oppenheimer. He was a really good guard, a little bit older than me. He's an assistant coach in the NBA right now. And I remember him going when Magic walked by, and I remember him going, that dude right there play our position. And to see somebody walking by 6'9",
it's crazy
at point guard, and it's like, what do you do with that? And that was way back 30 years ago.
Yeah, you didn't see that at all.
No, you didn't see anything like that. And 6'9", playing point guard, pushing the ball up the court, doing some of the stuff he was doing was just amazing.
Yeah,
it was. And you don't know how big those dudes are until you really, really get up on them and see. Like, this dude is 6'9", can handle the ball like me, can pass the ball like me, got eyes in the back of his head. And so 100%, exactly, 100% Irv dog.
Kyrie Irving or Dame Lillard?
Kyrie.
I
like Dame. I really like Dame. But Kyrie is he's probably the most skilled player to ever play in the NBA. When you talk about shooting, when you talk about handling the basketball, when you talk about finishing at the rim, floaters, runner, being able to shoot the ball with both hands. being able to close out games.
Yeah.
He is special.
I feel like he can get a bucket whenever he wants.
Whenever he wants.
Yeah. Like whenever he wants. No matter who's guarding him.
Yep. Yeah. And he's one of those guys that he can just flip a switch.
Yeah.
Like he could just be coasting. And we all know that really know basketball. Those guys don't really start playing until like the last 5, 6, 7 minutes of game. That's when they really start playing.
Right.
And when you watch Kyrie, it's like, all right, I've been doing this all game. I've just been kind of chilling. But when it's winning time, you get that dude the ball, and he going to do what he does.
Yeah, he'll do it for sure.
Yeah. So 100%.
Yeah, I like Kyrie too.
Yeah.
I like Kyrie too.
Kyrie for sure.
I want to get into some UNLV choose one or shoot ones. Stacey Ogman or Larry Johnson?
You going to do that to me?
Yeah, I got to.
Man. I got to go with LJ.
Okay.
LJ was just...
Yeah, he's nasty, man.
So we used to play the Russian national team.
Okay.
Every year.
Like before
season? They would come to the United States on a tour. And this is when they had Marcellonis and, you know, all of those really good dudes playing.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I want to say during Tark's years, we're the only team in the country that never lost to them. And I remember we were playing them at the Thomas Mack, and at halftime, Larry had 28 and 20 at halftime.
Damn. Did he play the second half?
He played. I mean, it was a tight game, but he had
20.
He had 28 and 20 at halftime.
Yeah.
And I remember he ended up with maybe 35 and
right.
24 boards or 25 boards.
That's crazy.
But he was just a winner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand until you really start watching and seeing when they get in the huddles how that dude grab people and bring everybody together. When somebody wasn't in the huddle, it was, you know, he was just a good dude.
Yeah.
On and off the court, and just a winner and just a dog.
Yeah. And
a great teammate. And he was just man.
He was that guy.
He was really good, man.
Yeah.
And he wasn't big. He was like 6'6", you know, playing power forward.
Yeah.
And he was just, you know, size 30, 32 waist, and was just a monster, man. Just chiseled.
He was thin?
He was around the waist, but he was just a big.
Yeah, because I was remember him just being
big calves,
big, yeah.
just a monster, man.
Yeah.
Just couldn't move that dude off the block.
Right.
Couldn't block his shot. You know, he's putting dudes in the basket at 6'6".
Yeah.
You know, playing against Alonzo Mourning and Mutombo and those dudes and dominating games. But yes, I mean, Ice, don't get me wrong, that's my guy.
Right.
You know, that's my dude. He was one of the dudes that, you know, convinced me to come. But Larry was just, you know,
different.
100%.
He's different.
100%.
Anderson Hunt or Freddie Banks? Both solid shooters.
Freddie was I'll never forget that Iowa game where they're down by 20 at halftime. And Freddie come out and hit 10 threes in the second half or 9 threes in the second half. We come back and beat Iowa.
That's crazy.
To go to the Final Four. I think it was to go to the Final Four, and I think we lost to Indiana in the Final Four. But I got to go with my man, Hunt Nice. Hunt took care of me when I was a freshman at UNLV. And when I say took care of me, gave me money, took me under his wing.
Yeah.
Told me the ins and outs of the whole deal here. Introduced me to some really good people that took care of us.
Yeah.
Hunt was just a good person. Still is a really good person. Looking forward to him getting his jersey retired on November 11th. But I'd have to say Hunt was a great defender. I think he was an underrated defender. He always guarded the point guard. Greg would guard the two guards, and could shoot the hell out of the ball.
Yeah,
great finisher. Wish he would have stayed for my first year, but I can remember him coming to me and telling me, D, it's over. I got to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's your show now.
Yeah.
You know, and I wanted him to stay. I would have loved to play with Hunt his last year, but it was time for him to go. All his guys were leaving.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I'm out. But yeah, that's my man.
Yeah.
That's my man.
Yeah. That's fire. That's a cool story, man. All right, last one we're gonna do. You or Greg Anthony?
Oh man. Come on, man. I gotta go with myself.
Yeah, I know, man.
I gotta go with
I just had to put it up there because I know, like,
we had some great battles though.
Yeah, because he was a senior when you were a freshman.
He was
your first year there.
He was my first year. Greg was a senior.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot from Greg.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from Greg. Just watching the way he ran the team, watching the way he kind of carried himself off the court as well.
Right.
Always well spoken, and just a tough. He was an asshole.
Oh, was he?
Greg?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Greg used to get technical fouls when his jaw was wired. I don't know if you remember when Greg got low bridged and he fell on his face.
I don't remember.
I can't remember if it was the year they won a national championship. So he fell on his face.
Okay.
Next game, he comes out, he has a mask on, jaw wired shut, and he played. Greg was just a tough
I do
tough
remember
dude.
hearing this story. Yeah,
tough, man, real tough. Greg would get technical fouls with his jaw wired.
That's wild. How do you even say anything?
Exactly. But Greg was a tough defender.
Yeah.
He wasn't a traditional point guard. And it's funny, I always use Greg as an example.
Right.
I'm a firm believer in point guards being born and not made. I just don't feel like you can make somebody into something they're not.
Right.
But he was an exception to the rule because, number one, he was a superior athlete, and I feel like that's one of the things you need. Mm-hmm. And I think you need a high basketball IQ, and you have to be a very smart person off the basketball court.
Yeah.
And he willed himself into being a point guard. When he came out of high school, out of Rancho, he wasn't a point guard, and UNLV didn't recruit him.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he went to, I want to say University of Portland his first year.
Oh, wow.
He was the player of the year in that league, came back to UNLV, set out 1 year, and then played here sophomore, junior, senior year.
Right.
But he was an exception to the rule where he went from being a two guard to being a point guard. And again, he was able to make that jump to be a point guard and had a really, really good NBA career.
Right.
At point guard.
What was it like at practice? Because I'm pretty sure he picked you up defensively at some point in practice and stuff like that.
It makes you better.
Yeah.
Playing against him and Hunt, it makes you better.
Yeah.
But he was a dog, man. He was a dog. I learned a lot of tricks from him.
Yeah.
A lot of tricks from Greg. Some edgy stuff.
Right.
Some edgy stuff and just some traditional stuff as well.
Yeah.
But that was a great backcourt.
Yeah.
Him and Henderson Hunt.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's great for you too. Like coming into UNLV and having someone like Greg Anthony.
To watch those dudes. Those dudes and play against them, and you learn a lot from those guys.
Yeah, preparing you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. I wanna talk about DJ.
Mm-hmm.
DJ, when I first met him. And you guys came to Schofield.
Mm-hmm.
I was coaching the girls' team, and I just got word from the boys' coach. Like they were just saying, they're like, "Yeah, apparently some guy came in and was like, you guys are about to get the best player in Vegas, right?" And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I had no idea. Like, that's cool. I want to, would love to see it.
Yeah.
And when he came on the campus. And I seen him playing, I was like, "Oh yeah, this kid is nice." Yeah, especially as a sixth grader.
Yeah,
like for him to run a team as a sixth grader, that's like just shows you how special the kid is.
Yeah,
and then he just every year, man, just getting better. Gatorade Player of the Year. He's a state champion. He brought Coach Kevin Source his first state champion. I played under Coach Source, so that was really nice to see because I feel like he deserves that as much as DJ and the rest of the kids. ranked 21 on ESPN, class of 2024. Paul Biancardi, quote unquote, said one of the best point guards in the country at running a team and setting up his teammates. Traditional, point guard, just from hearing that.
Yeah.
Averaged 23 points a game, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and a steal every game. While most parents are holding their kids back 1 year,
Yeah.
DJ reclassifies and goes to college early.
Yeah.
What was the reason for that?
Well, it was a few reasons. It was a combination of him and us as a family feeling like he was ready to do it, and I think he kind of got a little bored with high school basketball.
Okay.
We thought about sending him to a prep school,
Right.
and that's not something he came to us and told us that's not something he wanted to do.
Right.
He didn't want to go somewhere for a year, get used to that place, turn around the next year and have to get used to going somewhere else.
Right.
And the other thing is he's always played 1 to 2 years up with older kids.
Yeah.
And I think once Joshua left 2 years before he was a senior, so Joshua was 2 years older than him.
Yeah.
Him being his best friend.
Yeah, I know they were tight. Yeah.
Yep. Him being his best friend and kind of his workout partner and kind of his, that was his guy.
Yeah.
You could tell, you could see some of he was ready, man.
Yeah.
He was, I remember telling him probably a year before his senior year, I said, I'm watching you walk around this house and your body is changing, your mentality is changing.
Yeah.
And I remember telling them, this time next year, you're going to be ready to go to college.
Yeah.
And sure enough, around that time, it was time. He was at the point where it's like, I'm ready to go, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. And then Tina ended up putting him in a really good position as far as school wise, taking some high school things and middle school to where he was in a position to make that jump when he wanted to. But I think it was a family decision, but it was more his decision than ours.
Yeah.
And it was something he was ready to do, and it was something we felt like he could do as a family.
Yeah.
I felt like if he went to his list was Florida. Like if he went to a Florida or a Houston, it'd be tougher.
Yeah.
Because those leagues are a little bit, tougher. Like going to ACC a year early.
Yeah,
going
for sure.
to a Big 12, like that's, a little bit tougher. But this situation turned out to be kind of turnkey, where he can go in, be able to play through some mistakes. He's going in with some older guys around him, that'll teach him the ropes, that'll take care of him.
Yeah.
They have a really great staff over there that we know for sure is going to take care of him on and off the court. That was very big to me and Tina.
Yeah.
To have, a staff that really, really believed in him and was going to let him make some mistakes and play through some of the stuff. So,
yeah, I feel like DJ's always been that kid to defy the odds, or he always just kind of goes against the grain. I remember, I think it was you that told me this when he was in middle school. I was just asking, so where's he going to go for high school? And I think you told me that, because obviously all these schools are probably looking at him like, yo, come play for us, Gorman, all that.
Yeah.
And you told me, because I asked, he's going to go to, so he's going to Gorman? And I believe you said that he said he doesn't want to play for him. He wants to beat him.
He wants to play against him.
He wants to play against him, beat him in the state championship. And lo and behold, he got that opportunity.
Yeah.
And I heard he was sick as a dog in that state championship game. But still, still played a hell of a game. So I just feel like DJ's always that type of kid. I'm rooting for, I've always been a fan. I'm a big fan of DJ. I'm always rooting for him. I'm excited to see him play this season.
Yeah.
And just see how he progresses, because he's always been, upward movement ever since I've seen him play. So I'm excited to see him play college ball. Hopefully make it to the pros, which I think he can, and see how he does there. So that's awesome, man. What's it like? Obviously, you being a point guard, you're pretty much a master of the game of basketball. What's it like coaching a kid like DJ to become a very high level basketball player?
He makes us all look good.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is the thing about him. Like, well, the thing about me is like, it's like I still play.
Right.
So, I'm a student of it. I still watch basketball as much as I can.
Yeah.
I listen to coaches, different philosophies. I'm just a real student of it.
Yeah.
And he is a carbon copy of me when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Like when you see him on his phone all the time, he's not playing games. He's watching games, and it's not just highlights.
Right.
He's watching games.
Yeah, he's seeing every facet.
He's watching games. So he's picking that stuff apart and looking at different scenarios and looking at angles and different moves and different. He's a real student of it. He always has been from a little guy.
Yeah.
And to be able to coach somebody like that who just has this incredible will to win and just compete, it's easy. You know what I mean? He makes us all look good. And just a guy like that, and a player like that, what you want to do with them is you want them to be able to just go out, and you don't want to give them too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to give them the freedom to go be great.
Yeah.
You want to empower them to go be great. And when you overcoach a kid like that and kind of put them in a box, you stunt their growth, and you don't want to do that. You want to let them kind of just like go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you just kind of let guys like that go, it's gonna work. It's gonna figure itself out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny. I enjoyed him playing middle school for Coach Murray, because Coach Murray not only took care of him off the court.
Yeah.
He kind of said, "Here's the ball. Go do your thing." Like from day one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was kind of like just go do what you do.
Right.
And he makes coaches. He made me look good. Like I can coach, but he made me look really good.
Yeah.
I always knew if I had him, we had a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Time, yeah.
I mean, and there's so many coaches that would come up to me and go, "Man, when we first looked at you guys, it's like people would be laughing at my little teams."
Right.
And, you got shooter, you got this dude. And as long as you got this dude, he's gonna find his way in there, and you got to help.
Yeah.
If you help, Caden's gonna kill you.
Right.
This one's gonna kill you. And as long as I had him and Joshua, we had a chance. There's very few games that growing up that those dudes got blown out. You know what I mean? And they've won. That Joshua and DJ, kind of connection. They won a ton of games.
Yeah.
A lot of games,
watching both.
Yeah, a lot of games they shouldn't have won.
Right.
But those dudes are special together.
Yeah.
And then just when you have a great player like that, man, especially as a point guard who can just control games.
Right.
It's like you're playing a video game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of the stuff you see that dude do. I mean, I have so many stories. I remember we were playing Vegas Elite when DJ was in 5th grade.
Okay.
He was playing the year up. So he was playing their 6th grade team. And I remember that team had Taj. I forget who else. They had a really, really good team.
Yeah.
And we're playing at Doolittle. It's 2 minutes left in the game. We're down 10.
That's pretty much over.
And it's the championship game.
Yeah.
And he just flips a switch.
Right.
And it's like 10, 12 straight points. We win the championship. And it's like, this dude is just, You know what I mean? It was just like, I can't believe what I just saw this dude do in the last 2 minutes of a game. And there's so many times where there's games that we probably shouldn't have even been in that we've won or came close to winning. And it was because of our point guard playing, him just controlling the whole game and having a will that, and there would be time, dude, take them with you.
Yeah.
Drag them with you. They don't want to come, drag them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just his will to win and compete, it's just been special.
I think that's the thing watching DJ play is his control in the game. He almost like dictates everything, even the other team.
Yeah.
He kind of dictates.
He's a computer. It's like a computer out there, you know. Not only is he playing, but he's figured out a way to pick you apart and draw fouls and
which is crazy for his age, even in middle school, high school, at that age to be able to play like that.
Yeah.
Like there's times where I'm watching him play at any level, right? And he just knows how and when to get a specific bucket. Like
or get somebody else a bucket.
Exactly that, or even like to get to the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
I deemed him as unguardable when he was in high school. Yeah. There's not one, like there's people that go out there and step to him, but he can get to the hoop whenever he wants. He could play with his back to the basket as a guard. Yeah. And he's not like crazy big or anything like that. He just knows how to use his body. Yeah. That's why I'm excited to see him in college, man, because I want to see that translate to the next level.
Yeah.
Any expectations for DJ this year?
Just to enjoy being a freshman.
Yeah.
You know, and learning from his coaches, learning from those older guys. I want to say they have 5 seniors.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 seniors, and just learning from those guys and getting your feet wet, having fun with your teammates, getting acclimated to college, and just having a good experience because I think he deserves that.
Yeah.
And it goes so fast. Mm-hmm. You know, you just really want him to have a good experience just being a kid, and there is no pressure.
Yeah.
Just go play. It's a game. Just go play, have fun, and I remember telling him this when he was a sophomore, like, this will be your funnest year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember telling him in middle school, 6th grade, 7th grade will be your funnest years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 6th grade, I know he had fun. 7th grade, he had fun.
Yeah.
8th grade was a little bit more pressure. 10th grade, you got these seniors. Use your seniors. There's no pressure on you, man. There's no expectations. Yeah. You're just well, he was like a freshman because of COVID. He didn't get to play his 9th grade year. So bro, this will be your favorite year.
Yeah.
Because there's no expectations. There's no you know, you're you know, there's zero expectations for you. So just go have fun. So even this year, like they've deemed him this or deemed him that, but man, go have fun with your team.
Yeah.
You know, win some games, and they're talented. You know, you don't have to do it by yourself. You got a ton of talent around you. Some good coaches, some good players. So go have fun with your teammates and go win some games, man. You know?
I feel like, man, I have so much faith in that kid, man. I just feel like he's gonna do well, no matter no matter what level. And man, I mean, he did it, like you said, his sophomore season was his first year playing high school ball, and he helped win a state title for his team.
Yep.
You know, against a really good Gorman squad. You know what I mean? Very good Gorman squad.
Yep.
So shouts to DJ, man. I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna. The first game is what, November 9th, the first home game?
November 8th. They play
November 8th?
Southern at home.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna check that out. All right, we just got a couple more questions, man, just to, before we end the interview, just so people kind of get to know you better. 3 people you have dinner with, dead or alive? Off top.
3 people. Let's see. Martin Luther King is one.
Okay. Shouts to the king.
Shouts to the king. And this will be random. Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay.
And my last one would be probably my pops.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably my dad.
Yeah.
'Cause my dad died about 15 years ago.
Okay.
Probably about he died about 19 years ago, something like
Okay.
that, right before we had DJ.
Right.
So I'd say my dad.
What was your father like?
He was a baseball player.
Oh, okay.
So he played baseball growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I had one uncle, his brother played in the NFL. Another one played for Arizona State. Another one played for Nevada Reno in football. So they were all football players. He was a baseball player.
Wow. Athletes.
All athletes.
Yeah.
All athletes. But yeah, man, my dad would probably be the last one.
Nice. So we got the King, Martin Luther King, Wilt Chamberlain, and your pops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'd be a nice little table to sit at. Because, I mean, Wilt and MLK, I mean, they're both activists, you know? All right, last one. Your starting five, including you. So 4 players that you want to play with you. Your starting five.
Myself.
Yeah.
Mike.
Okay.
Diesel.
Okay. 2 more.
Let's go LeBron.
Okay.
And let's go Wilt, man.
Okay. So
Let's
you
go
got
Wilt.
Shaq, Wilt, LeBron, MJ, and yourself.
Yep.
That's fire, man. I might have to put that together on 2K and see how it does.
We'll have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of lives are being thrown.
Yeah, I see that.
A lot of lives are being thrown.
Yeah. Well, Dedan, man, I wanna give you some flowers real quick. One, I appreciate you for coming on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a very busy man, so it's tough. But I kind of wanted to get you in before DJ started playing. Before all the kids start playing basketball.
Yeah.
Shouts to you for doing what you did, or doing for what you do for these kids, man, and getting them to the next level.
Yep.
There's a lot of names that I hear about that I had no idea ran through your program. Dalton, Kincaid, you know, that become great men, great athletes, on and off the field. Even just as like a parent of an athlete, a parent who actually knows the game, who played the game. Like I said, you're a master of the game, and you just let your kids do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you coach them, but also when they're getting coached, you just let them play. You know, for the little bit the conversations we've had, not very many, but we've had a few.
Yeah.
The gems, you know, I've learned just from hearing you speak. You know, some of the gems as when I was coaching that I learned too. So I appreciate that. Following you on Twitter. I love when you tweet stuff because I feel like we're on the same level with some of the stuff you say. And I always agree with the stuff you say usually. So I'm like, yeah, man, see, we're on the same wave.
Yeah.
You know, so I appreciate you for coming, man. Thank you for what you do for these kids.
Yep.
I'm excited to see DJ play. All your kids, man, they're great kids. You've done a great job. And I'm sure you're going to have fun watching the season. So appreciate it.
Yep.
For everybody else, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.